My name is Hannah. One Christmas, my mom informed me, not asked, that I would be watching 5 kids while the rest of my family went on vacation. I didn't argue. I didn't shout. I handled it my way. If something similar has happened to you, share your story in the comments. The shift ended the way end-of-year shifts usually do. Handoffs rushed, paperwork half-signed, everyone counting minutes. My phone vibrated while I was logging the last shipment. A message from my mother appeared before I could clock out. You'll need to help this Christmas. No greeting, no question. Another message followed before I locked my screen. 5 kids, just a few days so your sisters can rest. I stepped outside the building and checked again. 3 more messages stacked under the first 2, each tightening the timeline. Pickup times, drop-off plans, a reminder about how hard the year had been on everyone else. Family, sacrifice, only a few days. By the time I reached my car, the phone rang. I already told them you'd do it, Linda said without waiting for me to speak. Her voice moved fast, practiced. They're exhausted. You understand that. Traffic crept forward. The call stayed pressed against my ear. I've arranged everything, she continued. They'll bring the kids by Saturday morning. It's easier if we keep it simple. I'm working Saturday, I said. A pause followed, brief enough to feel accidental. You can switch, she replied. You always manage. The statement landed with the certainty of something already decided. No argument, no acknowledgement, just a conclusion. I tried again. A sentence about schedules, another about notice. Linda talked over both. This isn't the time to complicate things. We need you. The word need came out clean, polished by use, a familiar tool. A text chimed mid-call, then another. Group chat notifications lit the screen. Thank you messages from my sisters, heart emojis, jokes about me being the dependable one. Linda laughed softly. See? Everyone's relieved. The car ahead stopped short. I braked and held there, phone still warm against my cheek. I'll send you the address, she said. Saturday, 9 sharp. The call ended before I answered. A confirmation email from work arrived seconds later, reminding staff about holiday coverage policies. The subject line read, "Schedule adjustments must be approved in advance." The tone was polite, impersonal, unmoved by family emergencies. Another message came through. You're a lifesaver. That one wasn't from my mother. The phone buzzed again with Linda's name. I let it ring this time. The vibration stopped on its own. A text replaced it. I know this is a lot, but this is what family does. Traffic began to move. I followed it without thinking, phone resting on the passenger seat. The final message arrived as I pulled into my apartment complex. An address, a time, a short line underneath. We're counting on you. I sat there a moment longer than necessary, then picked up the phone and opened my calendar. Messages started arriving before dawn. Not questions, notes of appreciation. My sisters wrote one after another, thanking me for stepping up, for being so understanding, for saving Christmas. Someone added a string of red hearts. Another called me a lifesaver. No one asked if I had plans. No one asked if the timing worked. Work followed the same rhythm. A request went in to swap shifts. The form didn't ask why. It offered boxes and drop-downs. HR approved it within the hour and sent a cheery reply about teamwork during the holidays. The system thanked me for my flexibility. It always did. By mid-morning, the family group chat turned practical. Diaper sizes, snack preferences, a reminder about screen time limits. The assumption settled fast and clean. I was the solution. It wasn't stated. It didn't need to be. Linda's driveway was already crowded when I pulled up. Car seats lined the garage wall like inventory. Coats were stacked by size. Labels marked everything. The arrangement looked rehearsed. Perfect timing, Linda said, opening the door wide. They're almost ready. A toddler bolted past with a plastic truck. Someone else cried over a missing shoe. Linda narrated over the noise, listing allergies and bedtime rules, her voice moving at speed. Colorado came up between instructions, framed as an itinerary already locked. We'll be gone a few days, she said. You'll barely notice. She handed over a folder, medical forms, emergency contacts. My name filled the last page already printed. Where's the car seat manual, I asked. Top drawer, she said. Oh, and the neighbors know you'll be here. They're so relieved. Relieved came up again later when the kids' parents arrived in waves to drop bags and exchange quick hugs. Gratitude flowed freely. Responsibility transferred without pause. Text if you need anything, one sister said, already stepping back. Another added, You're the only one who can handle this. Linda smiled at that. She talked about lift tickets and hotel check-in times while someone buckled straps. No mention of trade-offs. No mention of what this cost. Just logistics. By the time the door closed behind the last parent, the house settled into a new order. Sippy cups lined the counter. A schedule taped to the fridge assigned naps and snacks by the hour. The system was complete. An errand took me to the airport later that day. Drop off paperwork Linda needed stamped for travel insurance. Denver was busy with holiday traffic, lines curling around counters. While waiting, a man in a security jacket stood nearby, scanning passes with practiced speed. Delayed again, he asked, nodding at the monitor. Always, I said. He introduced himself as Marcus Reed. His tone stayed neutral, conversational. No curiosity beyond the moment. What's your destination, he asked. Not mine, I said. Family trip. He glanced at the folder under my arm. Sounds complicated. A boarding announcement cut through the hall. Marcus handed a pass back to someone and turned again. So who decided this for you, he asked. The question landed without edge, just a fact check. I didn't answer right away. The printer jammed at the counter. A clerk apologized and asked me to step aside. Marcus shrugged, as if the delay proved a point, then moved on with his line. The stamp came through. The clerk wished me happy holidays and slid the papers across. A small sign beside the counter thanked customers for their patience during peak season. My phone buzzed. Another thank you. Another reminder. Someone asked if I could also keep the kids an extra night, just in case. At home, the kids spread through the living room. Cartoons played. Snacks disappeared. The routine ran itself. Between tasks, the group chat lit up again. An image appeared. Airline tickets, neatly arranged. A caption followed. We're all set. Names filled the list. My sisters, their spouses, Linda. Mine wasn't there. No explanation came with it, no apology. The omission read as cleanly as a canceled line item. Breakfast blurred into cleanup. Crumbs swept, cups rinsed, one child negotiating for cereal that hadn't been opened yet. A phone rested on the counter, lighting up every few minutes with updates from the group chat. I didn't open it until nap schedules were posted again, color-coded. The airline screenshot came back into view when I scrolled. The dates matched the plan Linda had described. The resort name matched the brochure she'd left on the table. A confirmation number sat in the corner of the image, half-cropped. That detail stuck. A quick search pulled up the resort's holiday package. Sold out for weeks. Non-refundable. Family bundle. The wording was specific. The dates were locked. I called Linda. Those tickets were booked already, I said. A breath came through the line, practiced and brief. Yes, she said. That's why we can't change anything now. So the kids are the only flexible part, she replied, which is why we need you. Her tone flattened. Please don't start this. It's all paid for. Another call came in before I could answer, one sister this time. We can't afford to lose the reservation, she said. Just help us out. Don't make it a thing. The phrase made it into 3 more messages by noon. Don't make it a thing, as if volume determined legitimacy. Between snacks and laundry, the confirmation number stayed in mind. I typed it into the airline site during a pause. The page loaded slowly, then opened to a dashboard labeled Family Itinerary. Names listed cleanly, seats assigned, one field editable. A chat window popped up. Need help with that? A rep asked. Before responding, another message arrived from Marcus. Still stuck at DEN, he wrote. Systems acting up. I told him what I was looking at. He asked for the number, then replied with a single line. You can reissue if the fare rules allow it. A button labeled Modify Reservation blinked at the bottom of the screen. Clicking it opened a warning about changes and fees. The amount was $0. The fare rules allowed updates to passenger lists as long as the total count stayed the same. A text from Linda arrived. We already told the kids you'd be there. That line came with a smiley face. I typed into the chat. If I change the passenger list, I asked the airline rep, does it notify everyone? Yes, the rep replied. An automatic confirmation email will be sent. Marcus added, it's straightforward. Just follow the prompts. The screen asked which traveler to update. 5 names appeared, each with a drop-down. The 6th slot was labeled Optional Caregiver. Linda's name sat there. I didn't rush. Another snack request came from the living room. A cartoon switched episodes on its own. The washer beeped. Linda called again. Are you fixing it? She asked. I'm looking at the reservation, I said. Well, her voice tightened, we don't have time for delays. A sister chimed in through text. Mom's stressed. Can you just confirm you're handling it? Handling it. The phrase felt elastic. I selected the caregiver field and cleared it. A note appeared. Caregiver will remain at origin. The system asked for confirmation. A banner warned that changes were final. Another line thanked me for choosing the airline. Marcus sent a thumbs up. Looks good, he wrote. Just submit. I pressed confirm. The page refreshed. The caregiver slot vanished. 5 names remained. The itinerary recalculated without comment. An email arrived seconds later. Your family itinerary has been updated. No exclamation points, no apology, just a timestamp and a summary. The phone rang immediately. What did you do? Linda asked. The reservation reflects who's traveling, I said. A pause stretched longer this time. You left me off, she said. The system lists the passengers, I replied. It allows one caregiver to stay back. Her breath sharpened. You can't do this, she said. I already packed. Another message buzzed in from the airline, thanking me for my continued loyalty. A survey link followed. Linda's voice rose. You're being difficult. I followed the rules, I said. A sister texted while the call continued. Fix it, please. The kids wandered back into the kitchen, asking what was for lunch. I muted the call, answered the question, then unmuted. I have to go, I said. You're making a mistake, Linda said. The first call came before sunrise. The phone vibrated across the counter while breakfast supplies waited unopened. I let it ring. The vibration stopped, then started again. A third call followed, then a fourth, stacking into missed notifications. A text arrived. My name isn't on the list. Another followed seconds later. What did you do? By the time I picked up, the voice on the other end had already shifted. You need to fix this, Linda said. Her words tumbled over each other. They're boarding soon. I didn't remove anyone who was scheduled to travel, I said. That's not what the agent told me, she snapped. They said it's final. A child tugged at my sleeve, asking for a snack. I handed over a banana and stepped away. You changed it, Linda said. You embarrassed me. Cars pulled into the driveway next door, engines running, doors opening and closing. Another call tried to break through, then another. One sister texted, What's happening? Mom's crying. Another message followed. They won't let her through security. Linda came back on the line without waiting. You're doing this on purpose, she said. This is cruel. The word landed and stuck. Cruel. It bounced around the phone screen as more messages appeared. Ungrateful. Selfish. Fix it, please. The request came from 3 directions at once. No one mentioned the kids. No one asked where they were. I checked the group chat. Photos from the airport scrolled by. Coats draped over carry-ons, coffee cups lined up on a ledge, 5 boarding passes visible. Linda stood just out of frame in one image, her bag on the floor. They're about to close the door, she said. Say something to them. I can't, I said. The reservation follows the fare rules. You always hide behind rules, she shot back. Another call cut in. I declined it. A voicemail appeared seconds later. You owe us, Linda said in the recording, after everything. At the airport, an agent's voice came through Linda's phone, muffled but steady. Ma'am, the system shows you as a non-traveling party. What does that mean? Linda asked. It means you're not listed to fly today, the agent replied. I can't override it. Linda pressed the phone closer. Talk to my daughter, she said. She changed it. The agent didn't argue. Any changes must be made online, he repeated. Non-refundable package. Another message buzzed, this one from the resort. We look forward to welcoming your family. The line sat there, cheerful and detached, addressed to everyone at once. A sister typed fast. They just boarded. Another added, Mom's staying back with the kids. No punctuation followed that one. Linda's voice dropped. You planned this. I used what was available, I said. A pause stretched long enough for background noise to bleed through. Announcements, rolling luggage, someone laughing. You can still undo it, she said. Just tell them there was a mistake. I won't, I said. The word came out flat, not raised, not softened. Silence followed, then a sharp inhale. You've ruined Christmas, she said. Another child called from the table, asking for juice. I poured it, capped it, slid it across. You're abandoning your family, Linda continued. Everyone sees that. A text arrived from an unknown number. This didn't have to get ugly. The airline sent another notification. Boarding completed. Doors closed. A sister sent a final message. We're taking off. Linda spoke again, slower now. What am I supposed to do with 5 kids? The question wasn't new. It had just been redirected. You're their grandmother, I said. You'll manage. Her breath caught. You're cold, she said. The phone vibrated again. This time it was a missed call from Marcus. A short message followed. Looks like they boarded. I typed back a single word. Yeah. Linda kept talking. You think this makes you strong, she said. It just proves you don't care. Another system email arrived, thanking me for updating traveler details and inviting feedback. The timing felt precise. I have to go, I said. You don't get to walk away, she said. The kids started arguing over cereal boxes. I set them apart, redirected, checked the time. Morning routines waited, whether anyone approved or not. Linda raised her voice. You'll regret this. I'm hanging up, I said. The call dropped. Messages continued for another minute, then slowed. One sister sent a final line. We'll talk later. I didn't reply. The phone came back on during the drive. Notifications flooded the screen before the signal fully settled. Missed calls stacked from the same names. Voicemails followed, each shorter than the last. Linda called first. Her voice cracked before a sentence formed. I'm here with all of them, she said. Everyone left. Do you understand what you did? Cars moved past the windshield in uneven lines. A light changed. The call stayed open. You left me, she added. You abandoned me. A sister cut in through another call. I declined it. She tried again. Be an adult, she said when I answered. This isn't about you. Another voice joined the noise through speakerphone. Someone else had merged the calls. You're being selfish, a sister said. Mom's overwhelmed. Linda sobbed loudly enough to interrupt. They looked at me like I was the problem, she said. I had to explain everything. The explanation traveled faster than the truth. Messages came through in bursts. You can still fix this. Just go back. Don't make this permanent. The phrase, fix this, came up again, the same way it always did, as if damage only counted when it inconvenienced them. Traffic slowed near the airport exit. Signs pointed toward arrivals and departures. A familiar turn waited ahead. You need to come back, Linda said. Tell them it was a misunderstanding. I didn't misunderstand anything, I said. She inhaled sharply. "So you're choosing this," she said, "over your own family." Another sister jumped in. "This is bigger than you," she said. "You're tearing us apart." The words landed without pause between them. Guilt arrived packaged as urgency. "You always do this," Linda continued. "You pull away when things get hard." A notification from work appeared beneath her name. A system alert confirming my shift change for the holiday period. The message thanked me for my flexibility and reminded me to submit hours on time. Linda's voice wavered. "If you don't come back," she said, "I don't know how we move forward." That line carried weight. It always had. Silence followed it in the past, the kind that punished slowly. Another call interrupted, a sister again. "Mom says you won't answer," she said. "What's wrong with you?" "I didn't agree to any of this," I said. A pause formed, brief but noticeable. "You didn't say no," she replied. The distinction sat there, heavy and familiar. Linda took the phone again. "I raised you better than this," she said, "after everything I've done." The phrase "after everything" showed up like a receipt with no itemized list. A truck merged too close. I slowed. Hands tightened on the wheel. "You're acting cold," Linda added. "People are watching." That mattered to her. It always had. A voicemail notification interrupted the call. Another sister had left one. "Don't embarrass us," the message said. I pulled into a parking area near the terminal and stopped. The engine idled. The phone stayed on speaker. "You need to come inside," Linda said. "We can talk this through." Talk through meant revert. "No," I said. The word stayed steady. It surprised me with its ease. Silence followed, then breathing, then a shift. "So that's it," Linda said. "You're cutting us off." "I'm not fixing this," I said. A sister spoke again, voice tight. "You're choosing a fight." "I'm choosing not to return," I said. The airport announcement bled faintly through the line. Boarding groups called for another flight, a routine voice, calm and procedural. Linda changed tactics. "If you walk away now," she said, "don't expect me to call again." The threat arrived, fully formed. "That's your choice," I said. Another pause stretched. A child cried faintly in the background. Someone asked for help. Linda muffled the phone, then returned. "You've ruined Christmas," she said again, quieter this time. The accusation landed softer, but carried the same intent. A message arrived from one sister. "We're not siding with you." I didn't respond. Linda spoke one last time. "You'll regret this when you're alone." The call ended without waiting for an answer. When it lit up again, the name surprised me. It was Karen. She hadn't taken sides earlier. She rarely did. "I didn't know how else to say this," she said when I answered. Her voice sounded tight, clipped. "But you should know." The road noise filled the gap while she figured out how to continue. "Mom planned it," Karen said. "The whole thing." Planned came out heavier than expected. "The tickets, the resort, the timing," she went on. "She told us you'd stay back with the kids, said you were fine with it." My grip tightened on the wheel. "She said that?" I asked. "Yes," Karen exhaled. "She said you didn't want to travel anyway, that you preferred helping." A car honked nearby. I changed lanes and kept moving. "So everyone knew," I said. There was no denial. "She didn't think you'd push back," Karen said. "She said you never do." The sentence landed without drama, no accusation, just a report. Another call tried to cut in. I ignored it. "She told us not to bring it up," Karen added. "Said it would stress you out." "Stress you out" sounded generous. Strategic fit better. "She said you'd be relieved," Karen said, "that someone had decided for you." The line stayed open. Neither of us rushed to fill it. "She told the kids you were excited," Karen continued, "that you liked having them." A message buzzed through while she spoke. Then another. Linda again. "I didn't know how bad this would look," Karen said. "When she started crying at the airport, things changed." "What changed?" I asked. "People started asking questions," she said. "Why the caregiver wasn't flying. Why you weren't there." Another message popped up from the group chat. Someone had typed and deleted 3 times before sending. So she had to explain, Karen said, and the story didn't hold. The explanation had always depended on my silence. She told them you were being difficult, Karen added, that you backed out last minute. That's not what happened, I said. I know, she replied. That's why I'm calling. A pause followed. Then her voice softened. You were chosen because you wouldn't make a scene, she said. She said that too. The words slid into place with the others. Not shocking, just complete. Linda called again. I let it ring. She's blaming you now, Karen said. Says you humiliated her. I didn't speak, I said. That's what's different, Karen replied. You didn't cover for her. A new text arrived from one sister. We didn't know she set it up that way. Another followed. This got out of hand. The balance shifted without announcement. Not evenly, not cleanly. What do you want me to do? Karen asked. Nothing, I said. I'm not explaining. A laugh slipped out of her, short and tired. She hates that, Karen said, when things don't move. Linda's name lit the screen again, this time with a voicemail notification. Karen stayed quiet while I listened. Hannah, Linda said, voice trembling but controlled. They're turning on me. Her breath hitched. I didn't think you'd take it this far, she continued. I needed help. The word needed returned unchanged. They're acting like I planned something, Linda said, like I'm some villain. A pause, then crying, abrupt and loud. I'm your mother, she said. You should be defending me. The message ended. Karen spoke again. She wants you to fix this, she said. For her. I won't, I said. Another silence stretched, heavier now. She keeps saying you made her look bad, Karen said. Not that she lied. That part doesn't help her, I said. Karen exhaled slowly. I don't know where this goes, she said. Neither do I replied. The call ended without ceremony. At the next light, more messages stacked in. One sister apologized. Another stayed neutral. Someone asked for clarity. No one asked how I was managing the fallout. Linda tried again. This time, the text was shorter. You've crossed a line. The group chat went still. Minutes passed. Then another message arrived from Linda, sent directly. After everything I've done for you. The group chat stayed open while the car rolled through traffic. No one typed. The silence felt provisional, like a hold placed on an account. I didn't write an explanation. A folder already existed on the phone, screenshots collected without intention over the years, messages with timestamps, calendar entries, the airline confirmation, Linda's instructions about pickup times, her line about how I preferred helping. Each item carried its own date and tone. Together, they formed a sequence. Files went out one after another into the group thread. No commentary, no captions, just records. The typing indicator flickered, then vanished. Minutes passed, then more. A sister reacted with a thumbs-up emoji and nothing else. Another read the messages and said nothing. Someone typed, "Okay," and stopped there. Linda called. I declined. A new message appeared from her. "Why would you do this?" I didn't answer. Another sister wrote privately. "I didn't realize she told you like that." The sentence ended without punctuation, as if unsure where to land. A different message followed. "We thought you agreed." I let the thread sit. The document spoke well enough. Linda tried again, voicemail this time. "You're turning everyone against me," she said. "This is unfair." Her voice shifted halfway through, moving from anger to appeal. The pivot stayed familiar. I listened without responding. Another text arrived in the main chat. "Who's watching the kids now?" No one answered that either. The question repeated 15 minutes later, phrased differently. "Has anyone figured out childcare?" A sister replied with a shrug emoji. Another said she was already out of state. Someone else mentioned work obligations. Linda typed a long message, then deleted it. A shorter one replaced it. "I can't do this alone." The system adjusted around that statement. No one stepped in. No one offered to fly back. The same people who had praised flexibility now cited logistics. "I have meetings," one sister wrote. "Flights are full," another added. Linda called again. I let it ring. A notification popped up from the airline app, unrelated but well-timed. It thanked travelers for choosing their holiday service and invited feedback on recent itinerary updates. A sister sent a private message. "I'm sorry you were put in that position." The apology avoided names. It didn't need them. Linda's tone changed when she finally reached me through a different number. "You sent everything," she said. "You didn't have to do that." "I sent what happened," I said. "You made me look bad," she replied. "That wasn't the goal," I said. Her breathing grew louder. "You think this fixes something," she said. "Now they all see me differently." "They saw what you sent," I said. A pause followed, then a sharper edge. "So what are you going to do now?" she asked. "I'm leaving," I said. Another pause, longer this time. "You're just going to walk away," she said. "I already did," I said. She hung up. The group chat stirred again. Someone asked if Linda was okay. Someone else suggested she ask a neighbor for help. A cousin offered to check in later. The offers stayed vague, delayed, conditional. No one asked me to undo anything. A sister sent another private note. "I should have said something earlier." That line carried weight without action. I acknowledged it with a single word. Noted. Linda tried one last time. "I never said you had to do this," she wrote. "You always take things too far." The message didn't land the way it once would have. It sat there with the others, one more entry in a visible pattern. I powered the phone down before she could send another. At the terminal, announcements rolled on schedule. Travelers moved with purpose, boarding when called, waiting when told. A system operating without commentary. The flight number appeared on the screen ahead. I handed over my ID, collected the boarding pass, and walked through without stopping. A message from Marcus came through before the phone shut off completely. "Looks like things settled," he wrote. "For now," I replied. The gate agent scanned the pass and nodded. No questions, no delays. I took my seat as overhead bins closed and engines started, the phone staying off as the plane eased back from the gate and carried me out of Colorado without another call getting through. Work resumed on Monday without ceremony. The office calendar updated itself, deadlines slid back into place, and shipments kept moving. No one asked about the holiday. No one needed an explanation. A supervisor nodded once, handed over a clipboard, and moved on. That suited me. Linda didn't call. A week passed, then another. When her name finally appeared on the screen, it came as a text with no greeting. "Do you know where the warranty papers are?" I sent a photo of the folder label and nothing else. A check mark appeared. No follow-up. The family thread changed tone without announcing it. Messages shortened. Plans got phrased as questions instead of assumptions. Someone asked who was hosting next time. No one tagged Linda directly. A sister mentioned visiting Mom if schedules line up. Another suggested alternating holidays going forward. The language stayed careful, conditional. The center had shifted. Linda's presence in those conversations thinned. When she spoke, replies came slower. Advice went unanswered. Offers to decide for everyone stopped landing. The woman who once ran the room now waited for responses like anyone else. There was no confrontation about it, no meeting, no apology tour. That absence said enough. Work filled the days, routes adjusted. A delayed shipment needed rerouting. A vendor missed a deadline and blamed weather. I logged the issue, sent the update, moved on. The systems responded the way they always did. Neutral, procedural, uninterested in motives. An automated email thanked me for maintaining consistency during peak season. It invited me to complete a short survey. I deleted it. Evenings opened up. Time appeared where obligations used to sit. I signed up for a climbing gym near the warehouse, went twice a week without telling anyone. Muscles complained. Progress stayed slow. That was fine. Linda sent another message 2 weeks later. "Let me know if you're free Sunday." No request attached, no reason given. I replied the next day, I'm not. The typing bubble flickered, vanished, returned. Okay, she wrote. That was all. A cousin later mentioned that Linda had started asking for help differently. Shorter calls, more pauses, less certainty. The shift hadn't made her gentle, just careful. She's tired, my cousin said. I didn't comment. The family learned to plan around that new version of her. Some kept distance. Others maintained polite contact. No one crowned a replacement. Decisions floated until someone volunteered. No one volunteered me. At work, a new hire asked how I handled pressure during holidays. I showed her the checklist and told her to follow it in order. She laughed and said it made sense. That's it? She asked. That's it, I said. Linda's name appeared again near the end of the month. This time, the message included context. Your aunt's surgery is scheduled. I might need help with rides. The phrasing stayed measured. No urgency, no expectation embedded. I sent back a number for a local transport service and wished her luck. A red receipt appeared. Nothing followed. Silence settled into something stable. The family didn't break apart. It adjusted. Some bonds loosened. Others held in smaller, more honest shapes. No one celebrated the change. No one mourned it out loud. That, too, felt right. On a Friday after work, I walked across the parking lot with my badge clipped to my jacket, the week finally closing. Cars pulled out one by one. Someone waved from a distance. I waved back. The phone buzzed with a calendar reminder for the next shipment review. Another notification followed from the gym, confirming a class reservation. Both stayed unremarkable. A message from Linda arrived while I waited for the light to change. Let me know if you're coming by anytime soon. I didn't answer right away. The light turned green. Traffic moved. Later, at home, I set the phone down and started dinner. A pot heated. A timer went on. The routine carried itself. When I picked the phone back up, the message was still there, unchanged. I typed a reply, deleted it, then wrote a shorter one. I'll reach out when I can. No emotion, no promise. The reply sent, a red receipt appeared. No further messages came through. I turned the phone face down and finished what I was doing, letting the evening continue without commentary, the space around me finally arranged on terms that held.